I get one.
And it says we're live. That just happened.
We're
Hey
live.
everyone, nice to
Yo.
see you. We're getting it written. So as you can see, it's three of us tonight. DL is not joining us tonight. He is busy with friends and family tonight. So, I don't count. I'm just his sister from the writing world. I don't matter.
Then nobody wants that damn shirt anyway.
Yeah, wearing that shirt, right? No. So yeah, I'll let us do our introductions and then we'll jump into the loveliness of this stream. Alec, would you like to introduce yourself first?
Sure. I'm A.L. Williams. I am the author of Immortal Scars that is available on Amazon. My second book is coming out in under 2 weeks, or over 2 weeks. That's Hopeless Scars. I am currently looking for beta readers for Shameful Scars, and I also have an ARC team, so if anyone wants to join, just hit me.
Yay. Woo. Yay, ARC team.
Stop.
And now, Aphrodite, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hello, I'm Aphrodite, and this is Aphrodite Lee. We are the lead. Don't breathe on me. And I currently, I'm gonna slap you. I said, God, stop. I have stop. I have a book out called Shattered. It's the first book in the Glass Corridor trilogy, and I forgot what I was gonna tell you about it. But it's out. It's on Amazon. It's available for ebook and paperback. Hardback soon because some shit just came through.
On the way.
Yes.
And a little bit more down the line, it will be available on Audible. I also have Encounters, The 7 Erotic Sins, which is also on Amazon, and it's available on ebook, paperback, and Audible already. So I'm really happy with life right now. Grandson, he here.
As you all know, I'm author DL Tillery is my channel, and we do these streams every week, either on my channel or Aphrodite Lee's channel. And Alec joins us, and or DL joins us sometimes for these streams. And if we can get someone else to join us, that will also be welcome. So if you are interested in writing with us, just hit one of us up, and we will gladly send you the stream link. It's always nice to see new faces. And I write, as you know, horror, and I am also the mistress of horror. I write fantasy, romance, and paranormal, and everything in between. And I like to fuse those together. Though, sometimes I don't really want to call it paranormal. I want to call it supernatural because to be honest, that's what it really is. And that's just how the book world works. Because in those other genres, it is not just paranormal. Because we go paranormal, we know what we're really talking about. We're talking about the ghosts and the creepies. But in writing, they're just throwing all the vampires and the werewolves and everybody together instead of saying supernatural, what they really are. So I might just do that anyway and be like, you know what, writing world, guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to put this on my book. I'm going to be like, supernatural.
Yeah, that's what I got confused when I was putting my book in a thing, because I'm like, well, paranormal technically means ghosts, but all these
it's more like the paranormal aspect. I mean, you look up the definition of paranormal and it's not be like, oh, vampires and werewolves and angels and in the writing world, they're kind of a little confused. They probably should just go ahead and separate it, what they should do, but they won't. They just all in themselves. So
we're going to do it though. We're going to make sure that
let people know. We'll do that.
Them. Ghosts and all that stuff is para. Because you have normal, then you have paranormal.
Yeah.
You have natural and you have supernatural.
That's
right. And that's one of the things I so struggle with, because like in my genre, they're so freaking tropey and cliche that if you change the name of something, they have no idea what you're talking about.
They don't know what's going on.
They'll
catch on. Somebody's got to take the first step here. I'm going to do it. I'm like, you know what? Supernatural. Be like, this is horror supernatural. They'll be like, what you talking about? What's that?
I should be like it's supernatural mental health. What the hell is that?
Like, what's happening? Hey, we can do it. We can do it all. All right, let's see who's here tonight. I want to make sure I say your name right because it's spelled different than I'm used to seeing. I would imagine that's Jeannie. I would imagine Jeannie. I'm gonna go with Jeannie. If I'm not pronouncing it right, then you let me know and I will correct myself. So hello, Jeannie. Thank you for joining us. Hi, Steven. Thanks for coming back. And my brother DL is in the comments.
Bruh.
We can't see his shirt, but he might be wearing it. I don't know. I saw pictures earlier. He wasn't wearing it. I was like, good. Nobody need to hear about Chase anyway tonight. Okay, cool. I got it right. Yay, me. I like the way it's spelled, though. People get my names, like, they pronounce my name wrong all the time because it's Danette. It's European, whatever. So it's Danette and Lynette. So it's based from Lynette because my mom thought she was clever by just, naming me like her. And I always tell people I had nothing to do with that, obviously. So I have double N's in my name and then 2 E's and 2 T's. And okay, so Danette. But people say Danette, they say Danielle. I'm like, that's not even close to the name. What are you doing? But it's cool. He said he's not wearing a shirt tonight, everyone, just so everyone knows. So he's killed.
Man, don't let me see that damn shirt. I can't wait. Couple more days, some other ones is coming in.
Oh yeah, the shirts. Yeah.
Like I said, he's the only one that got that one, so that's why I got ordered by itself. We getting ours.
Oh, okay. So you put an I in it for the streams. You go by Jeannie, but without the I. Okay, cool. That works. Awesome.
Oh,
hello, Shannon. Howdy. And Wendy, hi. Thanks for joining us.
I found something out that's really exciting, though. Just because I wanted. So I know me, Aphrodite, and Persephone are talking about an anthology, but I have another 2 possible anthologies.
Oh, really?
You have a secret project.
Secret project.
I didn't know it was secret.
It's a secret project. We can't talk about it.
It's a secret.
We have projects.
It's a secret.
I didn't know.
Okay, so we're going to do the first question of the night. If you did not see the theme, it is down in the comments. And I did not make banners, so don't even expect to see the banner because
you're right.
I was putting a baby to sleep and I didn't get a chance to make my banner. So during the first sprint, I will make the other 2 banners. So don't try to come for me because I don't have 1 banner. So okay. I ain't trying to come for me because I will just go the other way and block you. So whatever. Okay, so tonight's discussion is
who got a monkey wrench out there?
Don't even try it. Hello, Persephone. Hi. Yes, impeccable timing. You really do.
I know. I said her name and all of a sudden she's there.
She was like, "What?" She must have not heard that. All right. So tonight's discussion is all about romance and sex.
My domain.
Yeah, you were happy about that.
You looked at me like,
what? Yeah, how you came into the world, telling me. Anyway, all right. So the first question is: as a writer, do you prefer to write fade to black, balanced, or detailed sex scenes, and why? So,
as a reader, I like detail.
Okay.
I hate when the door's about to close and
oh God,
it drives me crazy. I like to read details. They don't have to be explicit, but please don't fade to black. As a writer, it does depend on what story I'm telling, whether I care about romantic aspects.
Yes. All right, Alec. Do we need to make the child go into the other room?
I was trying to figure out why there was a child on this particular stream.
Apparently, it had nothing to do with that.
The child has said to me. Just choose your words, preciously.
Well, obviously, with YouTube, he's here. We mentioned saying child. We probably gonna get hit with something, anyways.
Right. Okay. So
romance.
Let's see. My opinion is if you have to fade to black, don't even include it in your book.
Yeah, Alex hardcore. Alex gonna play that.
Yeah, I do detail. Like you will know exactly where they're putting what and when.
It's not wrong with fade to black. I just prefer to read detail.
We might have to send the child out the room for the second question. For the second question, he might have to fade to black.
Yeah, I might have to fade to black if he doesn't.
I gotta ask Colin, if you write your story, do you want fade to black or you want to know all the details?
He said,
He said lollipop.
Well,
yeah, wow.
Every 3-year-old.
That could be taken a lot of ways.
Don't give Alec a lollipop. I'm sure he can do things with that we can't discuss right now.
What color is that?
Oh my goodness.
I have to tell you guys something, but it has to wait till he's gone. Because he's
gone after the first sprint.
Okay.
Okay, so I would say I like a balance. As a reader, I could go either way depending on what I'm in the mood to read. So I'm cool with Fade to Black in heavy fantasy
Stop.
novels because they don't really go into details or even balance it out in most heavy fantasy. In most other books, it could go either way. So I'm usually cool with whatever happens as a reader because I'm not the one writing it. And if I pick up a book for romance and obviously sex scenes, then apparently I'm going towards romance for like balance and not too detailed. And if I want very, very, very detailed or heavy sex, obviously I want erotica, So
Right.
I would pick up what I want anyway as a reader, so it wouldn't really matter what's in the book because obviously I'm picking it up for that reason or not for that reason. You know what I mean? So as a writer, I prefer like a balance of it. I could go detail because then I'll be writing something along the lines of erotica, which I actually am starting to delve into a little bit.
I mean,
So
it makes a difference in the story, the writing anyway. Like
of course,
like my Bianca series. There ain't any fade to black stuff, but it also isn't any sex stuff either.
Right, of course, yeah.
I think.
Well, I would say my book isn't either. Like Kelly Ostro doesn't have any sex scenes in it, really, but there are like adult situations as far as like romance, and there's also making out and stuff like that. But there isn't really any in the first book. There isn't any, but I can't say there won't be in the second book because there is some in the second book.
Right.
Well, I mean, that's what I mean. Like, if it's not important to the story, like for my books have it in there because it's about my characters being vulnerable and giving their heart and body to another person. So that's why they're so detailed.
It would be obviously right.
Yeah, but other people, if it's not important to the story, then obviously don't have detail. But I still stand by.
I mean, that's why I was like asking, like, as a writer, do you prefer? Because we all like to write certain things. Some of us don't delve into all different areas of type of genres, let's say, or styles of writing. So, but some of us do. So, some of us would say we want detail only, like we only writing detail, and some of us like, I prefer fade to black, or some of us like I like a balance all the time. I can't say all the time because I write a lot of different stuff, but not everybody writes a lot of different stuff. They write what they write. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, like Stewie, like I wouldn't expect, even though I know that's not his gig, even if it was, I wouldn't expect a high fantasy like Stewie's to have a detailed sex scene in it. So it does depend on genre.
It can happen though.
It can, but you don't expect it.
But you don't expect it, granted, because that style of fantasy, no. Because if it goes like romance fantasy, then I might something might be there. But if it says like fantasy, then.
Or like paranormal romance, like if we
but I mean,
technically supernatural romance,
right? Paranormal romance,
it's gonna be there.
I have
paranormal romance,
story that I've been writing, but actually it's done. But I got to go back and really spruce it up. And there are situations where everything was explicit, but there are also scenes that they weren't toned down. It just wasn't necessary to go into all the explicitness.
Right, I get that. Yeah.
Also, they don't fade to black. They just it's more like
next scene.
You know that they get ready to get have
stuff happen.
Lollipops about to happen.
The lollipops about to happen.
It's not necessary that I write out how long it took them to eat the lollipop.
Oh my goodness, that is.
How many licks does it take to get to the center of a Tootsie Pop?
All right, so let's see what the comments. Let's see what everyone else is saying here about this question. All righty, make sure I start where I started. Yes, for Stephanie, there is a small child. She said, I see a small child. Yes, that would be Talame. He has one of the best names.
Tell him your name. Tell me what? Tell me. Caesar.
Yes, Caesar. I love. Yeah, strong name. Very, very cool names. So if he and my daughter ever dated, like their names together, think about it.
It's like
Talame, Caesar Lee, Feora Chiyoko Ravenwood. Like
they already.
That's a mouthful.
That's a story right there.
President, they run the world.
You know what I mean with them names? Like, stop. These kids.
Are you a girlfriend?
He's like. He passes for cute enough, so I'll let him go. He cute. I won't pull the bat out.
What color is that? What color is that? Let me see. What is it?
Persephone says details. I can't disagree.
That's
I like
Stephanie's
the
my
details.
soul sister.
because
Hey,
Aphrodite
sister,
is
soul,
a hoop
sister,
dude,
go, sister,
and he
go,
passed a lot
sister.
of hoops down to us, and that's just how we feel about stuff. I want the details.
Yeah, I don't mind details. I'll be like getting up in them details though. So I don't be upset if details happen. I'm not upset like y'all need to stop. Never ever have I said that. When I was reading Alex book, I was like, all right, Alec now. All right, Alec now with the
It's not even the
over the
kinkiest
what
I can
get.
get.
The
You don't even
freaking
know.
headboard and the what? I was like, listen, Alec. I'm gonna get down there. Get down there. Wendy said it's all in the details. Yeah, people agreeing with this. Jeannie, minor details / fade to black. Nothing wrong with that. Robert says souls into weird sex scene. Well, I depends on what you're reading. You know what I mean? Percentage said we can speak in code. We could speak in code mostly. I mean, we really be talking like a lot of romance out there. They talking all kinds of code a lot of time. Just saying. It's going to keep Alec from going off on a tangent. Well,
It's
maybe
until
after the first sprint. After the first sprint, then he's going to lose it. It's going all the rails, especially with that second question.
For a second.
All right, so where am I? I'm losing it. How did you all the way down there? Relax, thing. I'm trying to read people's replies here. Okay, here we go.
For a second.
Okay. DL said fade to black because it's not the main focus. Yes, we know in your books, app.
Yes, your books. I accept your books for what they are because the narrator is hot.
Honestly, I don't really expect it. Honestly. I mean, I've read like almost all of R.A. Salvatore's books with Dritz in them, and Dritz, had a girlfriend, Cat Reese's girlfriend, and then his love interest to say, and then they end up getting married later and all that stuff. So they obviously had sex, but it wasn't like they never did into detail stuff like that. I mean, we don't really expect it from our male writers in most cases. We don't, especially if they're writing fantasy. Now, females might dabble in fantasies, might have like sex scenes or something light or like balanced in it or something. But most of the time when you see males writing fantasy, you don't expect it. When they do, like surprised, like what they doing? What?
Well, I will say that in the queer community, the men are more likely to at least write DJ scenes. I've seen that. So
I'm sorry, but you wasting your time with that because you said male. It don't change just because they like queer. Like, do you still like that? Like, if a guy writing that, I'm not shocked. Now, I did read a erotica by a male before called "Blow Her Mind."
Mm-hmm.
It was literally like blow her mind. Like if there was all that going in there, like something was gonna come out the back. Like I'm just telling you, like it was ridiculous that much in there. But I was like,
sound.
A window open? Somebody's window?
It's mine. My window's not open, but the wind is so hard right now that it's.
Oh, you having like a storm up in there, like
yeah, like I
was like somebody whistling Dixie a little too hard, like
right. And that's sad is my window's closed. That's what doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I know, because Jeannie was like mechanical blow, the blows aren't. Oh yeah, that's true. You're right about that.
God damn it.
Yeah, Alec is perverting lollipops. Alec can pervert anything.
I really can. Just give me something and I can.
He's very talented with that. It's hard. It's not hard to pervert the lollipops. Yeah, it's really not. That's an easy one. Let's be honest. Since I don't really even have fade to black cozy mysteries, pretty much skip over any mention of sex, and heaven forbid if my middle school grade series has sex. Yeah, middle grade.
Yeah, no, that's the only time I would advise fade to black. If there is any.
That's a no.
Fade to black. Fade to black still says that it happens.
Yeah, it does.
Some books, middle grade.
I didn't even bother putting in there like no at all because it was always about romance and sex. So I just put like the different versions of that because usually you do have books obviously that have nothing whatsoever at all, and it's not even about that at all. There's no romance or nothing. That's not really for me because even in any kind of story, there can be a type of relationship between two people. You know what I mean? So to me, I prefer that even if it's background noise, so to speak. So I prefer that to be because it kind of gives it a realistic feel because in most cases in the world, there's something going on with someone. You know what I mean? Somewhere. Even when there's serious stuff going down, put humanoid or humans in a situation, somebody's doing something together. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That's how
So
Gemini Rising is. And the thing is, like, nothing, Gemini Rising is not a romance story. And they're
I'm not sure how to pronounce your name,
up.
and I don't want to butcher it, so I'm going to call you Storm.
I think it's Catalea.
I thought so, but I didn't want to say it.
I think I remember
You
someone
take the
saying.
dive.
I love
You take the dive. Catalea, that's awesome. But I really like the last Storm. Check it out. What?
But in Gemini Rising, it is not a romance story. It is a straight up war story. And there are sex stuff in it.
Yes.
But it ain't romantic at all. There are a few people who are coupled off.
Yes.
But I didn't even bother going into romance stuff with them. So anytime there was stuff that was of a lollipop nature,
yes,
it ain't romance at all. It's
right.
war, crazy madness. Like,
yeah, I get you.
About a cute, sexual, good fun. There are a couple, but trust me. Stop doing that.
Steven says balance or details most of the time. It depends on which story I'm writing. I get that. That's what I was saying before. I think
I know, like, okay, so
you what?
Oh, okay, I wasn't sure. Sorry if I.
Oh no, you good.
I know, like in the book that I'm about to publish, there's situations where like it seems like it's going to be sex, but then it's not. Because I'm more about keeping the story balanced, more so than just writing kink. Yes. You know, if I wanted to do that, I just write short stories. So it's like my books for my genre actually has less sex than most books in gay paranormal romance, or even gay romance in general.
Jennifer is asking who is the little cutie.
I'm thirsty. You're thirsty.
That would be Talame Caesar. That is her grandson.
What do you want?
He's a cutie. Persephone said, I prefer details no matter what the genre. I want to feel completely immersed in the story world. I feel that. Yeah. I feel you on that.
No.
Like when I watch my K-dramas, I'm like thirsty, like, yes, the romance. I like romance K-dramas, of course, mostly. And I'm like looking like, so if the chemistry isn't right, I'm like, this show's not good for me. It's not working.
I don't have it.
It's not working. What are these girls doing?
It's like, stop.
Like, this guy's a good kisser. What are you doing? What are you doing right now?
She's like talking to the television and the books, probably. Like, excuse me, what are you doing?
I'll be snickering and be like, listen, no.
It's like, listen, Linda.
Linda, you're not doing that right. Linda.
Karen.
Stop. Karen, if it was a Karen, I'd be like, cut off.
You'll
turn it off right now. Karens don't know what's happening. No. Let's see. Alex said lollipop. Yes, Alex did.
And I have soda.
Now I got that song Lolly stuck in my head, the one that has Justin Bieber in it. Innuendos are fun.
Yes, they are.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, wait, hold up. I don't care that you're mad. I still say no.
Uh-oh.
That cute don't work on me.
Hey, I just realized it's been a month and 4 days since I had a cigarette.
Oh, congratulations. Are you trying to quit or are you just taking a break?
Or no, wait. Hold on 1 second.
Act crazy?
No, it's been 2 months. I just lost track of time.
Wow. Yeah, so you might be on the right track then. You probably going to be good then. You don't even remember how long it's been.
Yeah, I really haven't. I thought because I stopped on the 21st of
nice.
December, so.
Are you trying to quit completely or are you just taking a break? Or
yeah, I'm trying to quit completely, mostly because
congrats on that.
So
cool.
And I'm getting old.
Yeah, can't try to stop. Yeah. I get that.
Everybody's giving me this look like really.
Everybody's like, way to go, Alec.
Oh, he's mad with me, so I'm just ignoring him.
Way to go, Alec.
You want to go in another room now?
Alrighty. So we're going to start the first sprint. I'm going to get...
Oh, how long is the sprint? So
we're doing a 15. We're going to do 15s tonight. So.
Okay, cool.
15s.
So we're going to get a banner for the next, question. I'm just wondering.
You will. While we're on the 15, I'll make sure I just type it up real quick because I was like, listen, I ain't got time for that.
Right.
I'm being extra. Too bad.
Extra's perfect for this
stream. Say bye-bye. Say bye-bye.
Bye, Talame. So I'll put the 15-minute banner up.
Wait, say it again. Say good night.
Good night.
Oh,
He meant.
they always know when they gotta go to bed. All right, so we can go ahead and start a 15-minute sprint, and we'll see you guys 15 minutes. Go ahead and get that writing done, and I'll ask you what you're working on when we come back. See you in 15. And that's time. Banners. Go away, banner. Doo-doo. How did everyone do? And you can let us know what you are working on tonight. I am currently working on my first erotica because that happened. That happened today.
It does happen.
Actually,
when we're
I woke up
adults.
this morning, and it wasn't the erotica that came to me, but I was dreaming of this weird story, and it woke me up, so I had to write it down, which doesn't happen to me often. Usually, everything I come up with is just when I'm awake. So I was dreaming it, and it was too good for me to just not write it down. So I woke up writing, I was like, scribbling this morning. This has to be a story. But yeah, I'm working on first erotica. I'm liking it so far.
Yeah, let me read it.
Oh, I will. Actually, I'm writing it in a book right now. I'm going to transfer it to my iPad. But yeah, that's what I was working on. Right now, the working title is Dominated by Jay Woo. So, Korean guy.
That's my love.
I'm gonna make sound effects every time.
What?
Yeah.
You can wait for me to do that.
I love me some Korean, man. I ain't gonna lie.
All right. I still am having like a hard time not. I'm literally rewatching Flash so many freaking times just to look at them. They're so pretty.
I know, right?
Oh my goodness,
dude! If you have not seen the K-drama, What's Wrong with Secretary Kim? If you have not watched that, it's a must-watch because the main male lead in that is so hot. He's like really, really tall too, and some of the makeout scenes though. Let me stop.
Like those rare.
I'm like, please, can I please be against that wall right now? Like,
oh god. The tall Korean
can
guy.
you please lift me up right now?
I want to kill right now. I really want to kill people right now.
Oh, neighbors? Are you trying to kill neighbors?
It's stupid people.
It's stupid people. Where's stupid people at?
I can't take stupid people. I can't.
I can't take stupid people.
I don't think any of us can.
It's not something we can do.
Like you ever come across that person who they stupid? So I mean, right off the bat, let's just get into the fact that they just stupid anyway. But you would think that would be a bad enough trait. No. But they stupid and they have to have the last word.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
Like, I had to deal with was that last word type person. I was like,
if this person sent me one more message,
oh Lord,
the level in which her feelings are going to be hurt is going to be epic.
Well, sometimes stupid people are the first ones to get their feelings hurt too because.
I've tried with this girl.
They think you being mean, but you just not. But they don't know that because stupid. I know. I feel your pain. Oh, I was watching some of the conversation here. It's pretty funny in the comments. The Gene was like, I paused writing to say I had a flashback to being that young and being sent to bed while the adults stayed up. Always wondered what they were doing.
You guys see that meme I posted where it says sex is a construct, society is a construct, but bedtime is definitely very real.
This is very true. And of course, there weren't household computers in the 70s. They were just up late watching 2020 and news or late night movies. And then Wendy said they were doing the 70s version of Netflix and chill.
Right.
This is extremely true. People in the 70s don't play. Okay. They were also free loving. So they were free loving. They meant orgies and everything. They weren't playing around. Kids go to bed, probably orgy in the basement. What you talking about?
Hey, I didn't do none of that.
Orgies in the basement. That sounds like a great
time. You didn't.
Don't let the smut that I write fool you.
I mean, seriously, some of the kids.
A lot of shit, but I don't do
some of the kids in the 80s came from orgies. Talking about you didn't do it. Don't mean nobody else didn't. All the orgies. Same type of conversation. Yeah, it was.
I'm about to have an orgy with that green pants.
What was that?
Oh.
Well, probably not two of them
Yeah.
because I swear two of them look like their kids, so we're not doing that.
We're not doing that.
No.
But hey, if they look like that, that's not the same thing. Because people always push that, like with Japanese women specifically, because Japanese women look very young when they are not their age. But we know when you're a brown race, like Black people or people who are Hispanic in some cases, or just Asian people in general, we age well and we don't look our age. So then people will be act like somehow we're not allowed to have relationships, I guess, because we look really young. And then they say to guys like, what are you into, like adolescents, you into little kids or something? Because a woman looks really young. Like that's like her fault because she ages really well. Is a guy not supposed to be interested in her because she looks young? So they try to push that narrative a lot these days, like, oh, you're a pervert because you like these girls to look really young. Like if they look really young and if the dude's attracted to her, don't mean he likes teenagers, because that's completely the opposite of that.
Yeah.
He knows she's an adult just because she looks young. You can't.
Oh my God, she messed
That's the thing is that
Jesus,
I actually had a psychiatrist say this. Like an actual psychologist says that the average man is attracted to 16-year-olds. That is the average man.
Well, you gotta think about it like this. My brother had a good example. He was like, if you rather you're a female or male and you are attracted to people of a certain age group, whenever you are attracted to them, it doesn't really change for you.
Nope.
Whether you get older or not. I mean, like, okay, I was always attracted to older males.
God, please, little girl.
Always was. So it didn't change for me that I was attracted to older males. I didn't like younger males. Of course, I can recognize if someone's attractive, whether they're younger or older. Mm-hmm. But that being said, when I talk about relationship stuff, I am more attracted to older males. I don't really like men that's younger than me. I would never think about even having a relationship with a man that's younger than me. I'm not interested in that whatsoever. So even the guys I dated were always 6 years and older than me, because I like more older, mature men. I felt that they can handle me better than the younger men could handle me in all situations. So I wasn't ever attracted to younger men. As soon as I found they were younger, I'm like, yep, nope, bye. I don't have time for raising my boy.
What an old man could do for me is introduce me to his son.
Yeah, I know you like them younger ones, which is fine. Which is fine. But I have to say that I do like the mature looking males. But I do love. Don't get me wrong. I do like the guys. Like I do think the guys from BTS are super hot. Like I do think they're very, very attractive. But they are much younger than me, so I wouldn't be like,
Yeah, I love them, but I don't think I'd ever actually date them.
No, I mean, I mean, I could have sex with them, but I wouldn't.
Oh yeah, duh. Well, obviously.
There's a big difference in going out and hanging out and doing stuff and being in a relationship with somebody.
Right.
I have no desire to be in a relationship with a kid. What are you doing?
Well, I could be attracted to them. Like I'm attracted to, of course, I'm attracted to Asian guys, but even the guys I was with were either like Asian or mixed with the Asian guys or whatever. So that's not surprising because that's my preference. I am more attracted to Asian males to begin with. So me liking them doesn't mean like I'm sexually attracted to them. I think that they are attractive and I find them attractive, but it wasn't like, usually I'm kind of like a one person type. Like usually I'm with somebody, I'm kind of like my sexual attraction for us of me wanting to have sex with them kind of gets cut off. It's just weird. That's how I am. But when I'm not, then it's a different story. Let me stop. Let me stop. But yeah. So older guys for sure.
I have to tell you this. I really have to tell you this.
Yes, tell me, please.
So I was talking with some other authors on another author's post, and it was about this stupid Wish ad about like a freaking pair of panties that looks like a shower cap, which was really weird. So everybody's commented and making jokes about it. Well, one girl's like, it's to catch all that cum, right? And I go in there and I show like a dripping gif, and then she shows a cake with two penises coming in the center. And I'm like, we should write an anthology about coming. Like all the places you can come. On the side of a boat, on your back.
That pretty much would be like anywhere in anything. I mean, that would be a lot of writing. You would never run out of material.
Of different ways to come in one book, different authors. So this could be fun.
That would be hilarious. Oh, well, I could do that. I
will totally include you if you want.
Yes, I will totally be included.
Awesome. That's just great.
I can write a short story all about the coming.
Yeah.
No problem.
Oh, you can make a short story about coming and make it a horror story somehow.
I can do that. I can make anything into horror.
Yeah,
Any
that would be great.
I'd be like, oh my god, it's be like raining come. They'd be like running in the house. I can't.
All right, I'll compile a list of everybody who's doing it, and then we'll talk about like how we're gonna go about it.
That's too funny.
I missed what I missed.
About
wanna-
being
Oh yeah, it's about the anthology, about all the ways you can come, like different authors. Like this because there was a cake with those sex party cakes that have penises that are coming in the center. She posed a friend.
Ew, no, I do not know about that. What?
Obviously, it's a. We want to write an anthology about all the ways to come, and I'm going to write the one about coming.
How am I gonna? Okay, let me just say some things because I think I need to remind people. I'm old, and I ain't done but so much shit. And most of the shit I know about, I read about, not because of ignorance. And I don't know what the hell you talking about right now. So therefore, I can't write a book, an anthology about different ways to
off the side of a boat, like Titanic style.
When I don't know all the ways because I don't even know what you're talking about right now.
We could have the song playing. What was it?
Oh, hey, tell Alibi I said what's up. What's up? And Wendy, to answer your question, like why do they keep messaging me? Because she's a moron.
Oh, you telling with vendors right now? You're not, or you're not.
Nobody don't know.
Thank goodness.
No. This is somebody connected to my production for Saturday.
I was going to say Or's production. I knew it. All right, let me read some of these comments. G said, working on the last scene of my book, almost done. Okay, cool. Let's see. I moved from the living room back to my office and ate a cookie. Yeah, you're very productive. That is very productive.
I am so hot right now.
Eating the cookies are yummy. All right. Oh, it moved again. Okay. And D also, I'm working on editing a video for my patrons. Okay, cool. Steven said, I'm figuring out my MC's trauma. Oh, okay. That's definitely serious stuff right there. Oh, yes. Yes, I will. I'm already on Dark Side, baby. You don't even know. Okay. You don't know. I just never said anything, but I've been on Dark Side for a while. I should say I could write some of the stuff that I've done in an erotica. And it would be fine.
That wouldn't even, if I write the stuff I did, it wouldn't even be an erotica. It'd be a pathetica.
A pathetica?
It was like, damn, bitch, you gonna die having not done nothing.
Okay, so now we need like if I wrote an anthology of all the things I did, it would be a very long book.
We know Alan got
an anthology of all the things I did. It could be a long book too, but it wouldn't be erotic.
She was like, it would be erotic.
Nope.
Mine would be mine would be lukewarm.
Nope. Don't let
at least I think so.
Yeah.
At least I think so. At least I think so. I mean, maybe I don't know. Maybe it's not.
We'll just say some of the stuff I've done does slightly cross into like.
Now, see, you're gonna freeze and stuff, Alec. We're gonna miss it. Like you bleeped. It's not allowed to be heard.
Nope.
No, Shannon, you are brilliant. So it definitely wasn't a message from you.
Shannon, I'm working on getting my art set up and pre-order set up. Oh, yay!
Oh my God. Who said that? Shannon said that?
Yes.
Shannon, I gotta talk to you. I learned some stuff over there.
Hey, Dana.
I'm so hot.
Yeah, we're our topic for tonight was romance and sex. So we were answering the questions. The second question was, which we're about to do. The first question was, let me pull that up real quick. First question was, as a writer, do you prefer to write, fade to black, balance, or detail sex scenes, and why? So if you want to answer it, you can.
I know Dana's answer.
Yeah, I do. So you can answer that. We're about to do the second question now, which will probably be lengthy as well. Let's see. Make sure I'm not missing anything else in here. All right.
Peanut butter.
Well, I'm looking at Wendy's comment, even though you're not there yet, and I'm like, well, it is called a little death for a reason.
Oh, yeah, true. Yeah, that's true. I do write horror, but I might maybe I'll do a horror erotica. That would be interesting. I do horror romance, so I might do horror erotica. I might try
There is a book that I'm doing an arc reading for.
Yes. Oh, Alex wrote.
And it's inside the mind of a psychopath. So I'm gonna read it. If I like it, I'm gonna tell you to read it.
Okay, cool.
Okay,
Yeah,
you don't have to. You don't have to.
I like those. Actually, I've read a few like that. I like those.
Yeah, and this is a gay romance, a gay one. Well, not romance, but a gay horror. So I'm really.
That's cool. Either way. So yeah, let me know how it is, and I'll check it out.
I'm really happy with my Gemini thing, my Gemini story.
I can't wait to.
I am so happy with the madness, but it is definitely madness.
Mm. All right, so second question. Here we go. Question 2. What's your romance build up to a kiss scene? So your romance build up like before the kiss scene happens. Like what's your thing that you like?
My thing
writing wise
is building up to like them fighting it. Like they don't want to do it, or they think they don't want to do it, or they are fighting the urge, or they're pissed off at each other. That one's great. I love that one. And
that one is pretty good.
Yeah, and it's so much tension. Like I have a freaking utility closet kiss scene. We're knocking over brooms and shit. So
nice. Yeah, I actually watched a K-drama recently where the guy was fighting, trying to be with the woman because it was reasons why he figured he shouldn't be, and she was very adamant about she liked him, and she told him and everything, and he still was adamant about not. But by the time they actually do kiss, like they're like arguing, kind of like, and she's upset. She's trying to walk away, and he follows behind her, blah blah blah, and then there's a wall involved, like so he's like pushed her against the wall because he's trying to stop her from fighting. She's trying to hit him with her purse, like she's literally hitting him with her purse. So she like drops it, so he kind of like grabs her wrist or whatever to stop her from hitting him. And he's like trying to get her to listen, but then since they're all rough each other up a little bit, so then he like stops and it's like then into kissing. So it's like a build up to that from that. So yeah, I get exactly what you mean. Those are pretty good too.
I never thought about it. Like I don't really have a favorite build up type thing, but when y'all were talking about it, 2 scenes came to me. One that I deleted from Shattered.
Okay.
The one that happens in Sacred, both of them involve Chase. And but I did like them. Like I deleted the one because it was a Chase has a lot of, for those people who haven't read it, I'm trying to choose my words. He has a lot of pent up feelings, emotions, whatever you want to call them, that's I want to say pointed at Aaliyah. And that's the best way to put it. Not like not lovey-dovey, but more pointed at her. And there was a point that I took out where he did grab her and like steal a kiss from her. And it wasn't anything romantic about it. It was still more like a power throw. Like he still wanted to throw her off, but he also still wanted to do it.
Right.
And so I like that. If you like how I was building to when it got to that point and when he just couldn't control him anymore and he did it.
Yeah.
I like stuff like that when you can see somebody's a time bomb.
Yeah.
And then the other one, I mean, time bomb, like, not in a good way. It's not mutual. And the other time he was in a situation where he, the person that he kissed, who shall be nameless, was oblivious, didn't even see it coming.
Right.
Whereas the whole time he was like getting himself up to be able to do it.
Yeah,
so it's kind of cute, like he's trying to get the nerve. And then while he's trying to build the nerve to do it, he's also hoping that it's going to be reciprocated, obviously. Right. And, but the other person was like, yeah, the sky's blue today. No idea it was coming. So I like stuff like that where it's just, but one side.
Yeah. I get you.
Talking about it romantic.
Yeah, I think myself, as far as writing, I could say about ones I've experienced myself that I preferred. But they would be similar to some of the ones I write. But I really like the one that Alex said. I do like the fight because it's interesting to watch too. But I kind of like what I want to say, the stare before the kiss, like the whoever's going to initiate it, like they know they're going to, but I like the ones that they're very confident that they feel this way, that they are going to initiate this kiss, like that you can see it coming in their eyes, type of thing. And maybe even if the other person doesn't know, but they can kind of sense it because they get a little nervous about it or whatever. I kind of like that feel because I'm more of a setting, like I like the male to dominate in that way. I do prefer that. I don't mind being a female and taking the initiative, of course, but I always like it when the male gets that look like I'm going to attack you now, like type of thing. So, I kind of like
that.
Yeah, I love the against the wall thing. Like that's like my favorite kissing type of situation. And I've had that happen. Which
her Juliet scene. She's the one that's in control of the Juliet scene.
Yeah.
Romeo and Juliet, but it was more with the warring houses where she was more Romeo and he was more Juliet. So she was all in her, can I talk to you kind of mood. He's like, well, wait a minute. Is this going to happen? Walk with you. Oh, shit, yeah, she coming for me, you know. So that, I like
There's
that.
so many ways for the build up to happen. So it's very interesting. I mean, I think as a like writing romance and stuff, I think actually funny thing, people wouldn't think so. But watching like dramas and me watching K-dramas has actually opened up my ability to write better romance scenes because of watching so much of it and like seeing it, because if you experienced it yourself, it's not the exact same thing as watching it happen. You know what I mean? Because you can't like go outside your body, of course, and watching while it's happening because you're kind of in the moment anyway. But of course, everyone remembers probably like some of their best kisses that happened to them or whatever. And usually you'll draw from that experience and kind of compare it to other, you know, kisses you may have experienced or whatever. But yeah, I think that for me would be the one for sure. I think second would definitely be the one Alex said. I like that fight before it because those would be very interesting. I do like a lot of people in the comments are saying, you know, they fight it and then, you know, try to.
You get that. You get that with the there's only one bed trope a lot.
Right.
Oh, yeah. Proximity. Forced proximity.
Yeah.
I love the enemies to lovers mixed with the forced proximity because they already hate each other. Like I've read one where they literally are angrily having sex and one or almost has sex. One runs to the bathroom and like angrily jacks off because he's so pissed off that he wants to sleep with this guy.
Yeah,
it's great. It's so freaking great.
That is great. Aphrodite, Jennifer said you did the romance and shot it very well. Yes, you did.
Yeah, that was more on the cute side, but it was still adorable.
Thank you.
It was run very well.
Cinnamon roll.
Really
I'm more of about a like angry though. Like for some reason, anger just makes.
I know you like the anger. I know you'll probably like one scene in Cagliostro because it doesn't. They fight each other at one point. Like there is a disagreement between the two, so they kind of have a fight. But I actually changed the scene originally so I could tell you because it's a little bit different. The original scene before I changed how the book ended, Cagliostro and Allison fight, which they still do have a fight, but it led to a sex scene. So you would have really liked that, Alec. But something like that happens later on in the series. But yeah, those type of scenes are very interesting, especially if people are like, you know, fighting. I saw one kissing scene that I thought was really nice recently where I was watching K-drama and the girl liked the guy, but she didn't say she liked him. So she kind of was like a watching him type thing. Like, you know, like she think about him when she was doing something, like she was at a bookstore and she bought a music writing book because he was a musician. So she bought a book that you could write music in. And she came in when he was playing the piano or whatever at school, and she drops her bag when he turns around because he heard somebody behind him, and she's like hiding. Like she's like, "Why are you hiding? Like, why are you hiding?" So she like makes herself get up or whatever. He comes in and picks the book up and was like, "Did you like buy this for me or whatever?" Because it's music and she doesn't write music. And she was like, "No, what are you talking about? I was just in the bookstore and it was like these different books." Like totally denying it, but come on. He's sitting there smirking at her like, type
See,
of look.
I love like the contrast where like they start off hating each other and they're fighting and it's intense, and then throughout the story they slowly slide into the cute.
Yeah. I so many stories like that, which I think those are very, very
I like
interesting.
those too, but I do like the ones that start off with the people liking each other, and this is a matter of time of watching how long it takes.
Yeah, I know you're always waiting for that build.
And Insta lust, I really do.
Well,
Oh,
see,
no,
I'm that
Insta
person
cool
who flips
too.
tables. Like, stop being an idiot and just kiss him.
Like
I
yelling at the screen.
For my writing, for my story with Spencer,
Mm.
I love the fact that he saw the back of this girl from across the room, and that was it. I'm married.
Hey.
I'm in love with the back of your head.
I'm in love with the back of your head. That was enough for me.
Yes.
No matter what I see, it's gonna be amazing.
I love that kind of stuff, even though technically that you can't. I mean, it's fiction. You can do the fuck you want, but
sure.
I mean, you can't really be in love with somebody you don't know.
You are you can be in love with the idea of what you see, though. You can't do that in reality, you know.
It wouldn't matter.
Find out, it's like, wait.
He could have found out that she had like green toenails or whatever. He would not have cared.
Yeah, well, I mean, I can't say that it doesn't exist for real in that instance. Sometimes some people see someone and there's this instant like connection or grip. It's happened to some people, doesn't happen to everyone. People can believe it or not, because it didn't happen to them. Because just because something doesn't happen to you does not make it not real. Just because you an experience doesn't mean it doesn't exist. This is a big world, people. You know what I mean? Anything is possible. So someone can see someone and fall in love with what they see. And then whatever they get, they still might love it. You know what I'm saying? So that has happened to some people. First sight and all that stuff, because technically we are drawn to each other by what we see. It's like you're attracted to something, whatever the something is you're attracted to. You saw it, and that was usually what happens. I mean, in some cases, we got people that talk to each other and have never met, and then they fall in love from that. But that's a different story. But I'm talking about when we see people, like type of thing. When you see somebody, you were attracted to them and something they had. It doesn't matter what it was.
It doesn't matter what it was. It was something.
It was something. The way they walked, the way they moved, they flipped their hair, their eye color, their nose shape, their lips, anything. Could be anything. Eye color. You know what I mean? So, that type of thing. But, if someone told me before, they were like, oh, I kind of fell in love with you because I was, I'm like, you fell in love with my boobs.
Okay, guys, so I have to tell you about a book that I just read. It was great. So, one of the guys
saw the eyes and went cray cray.
Okay, you know how I was like gushing about English accents? Well, this book was creator with an English accent, right? Yeah. And the book was about a guy who's
Grumpy Owl,
and it's also he works at a, what do they call it, a cafe, but he also has to be an escort because he doesn't make enough. Well, he starts escorting sexually for this one guy who refuses to have sex in the light, and it's because he has burns from being in the army. Oh. Well, they meet in real life. They don't know that it's the other, and they start dating.
Oh, wow, that's cool. I like that.
But then when the guy found out that he was the same guy, he freaked out and he dumped him. And my first reaction was, dude, you need to stop being so fucking ridiculous.
Why are you dumping him?
You're sleeping with the guy that you also like. How is that bad?
You'll be like, what? I'm upset. Like, that's a little twist on your part. Like, what's wrong with you? You should be happy. I'd be ecstatic.
And the funny thing is when they first had sex, like every time he's taken a sexual John, because usually he only does the dating. It's just for a little extra money he would do the sex.
Yeah.
This guy actually, he enjoyed it. Like he couldn't withstand the pleasure of it before he had to fake it. This was the first time he didn't have to fake it.
This time, my boy.
So I'm like, bitch,
how you gonna break up?
Dude, he's tall, he's ex-military, he's a hero, and he's good in bed. What the fuck is wrong with you?
Haven't heard any negatives yet, so don't know what's going on with that one.
Thankfully, it ended well, but I wanted to reach to that book and slap him.
I know. We got those books where you want to reach in and slap people like, would you just stop? So, but that K-drama I was talking about, that one was What's Wrong with Secretary Kim or whatever. They don't really like each other at first. He's like really, really mean, and she's kind of like his secretary. She just takes whatever. Like she's the perfect secretary. So like nobody like this guy's like really mean, like he's kind of standoff to everybody think, but then she like they fall in love with him, whatever. So it's really really good. But like the kiss scenes and stuff is really good. And I was like, listen, y'all need to stop though. DL said non-existent for the question.
I bet you he's a hopeless romantic in real life though. That's the funny thing.
I'm sure. So say it, Allie, Persephone talking to you from before. It's like 9 something. I'm going back and read everybody's answer. Wendy said, I love the characters that fight it at first. The emotional, comforting scenes that with them kissing are fun to write as well. Yes, this is true. Persephone said, I'll just say I love all build-up scenes. You know it's going to happen, but the anticipation of it is so fun to read and watch. Yes, I very much agree with that. Very true. Dan said, I start with 2 characters. They are introduced, and then I just write and let their relationship evolve into whatever situation they wind up in. Yes, that's true. And that's true in most cases. But I was more or less leaning towards what you would like to write, because even if you let the relationship develop, some of your wants are going to come into play while you're writing more than less. Like if you're writing characters in a situation or they're going to kiss or something, even if you are letting their relationship develop into what it's going to be, you still have that input as the god of the book, so to speak.
Well, I mean, a lot of it, like for me, is I entwine how they would react sexually and emotionally to a partner with their mental health or their arc.
Right, I get
like
that.
My character Haley, she's a very present, crude person, so she comes off very intense. So she hates the guy who's the person who's going to be her partner. So they hate each other immediately. So that's just part of her personality.
yeah, I see. Yeah. Makes sense. But yeah, I get what you're saying, Dana, for sure. Because that's just the case when you have when you're making characters or you're writing a book and the relationships develop anyway. Some things you don't know what's going to happen. But you know, when you're writing your build up before a scene, usually you have some kind of thought process of how you like your build up kiss scenes to happen. Of course, it make it happen naturally as well, but you're probably going to know some kind of style to how you build up to your kiss scenes if you write kiss scenes, that is. So, because we all write differently, of course. So
I like groping scenes. Those are
I don't mind groping as long as the people are already in a relationship.
Well, I don't care if they're in a relationship. If they're making out, and people start
sometimes
you ain't in a relationship.
Sometimes groping happens before you have established a relationship.
Sometimes your instincts just take over, and you just hands everywhere.
I'm just explaining.
Grope me if you want to.
I'm just explaining some situations like, okay,
you won't have.
Or I label somebody as my boyfriend. Sometimes it happened that there was groping and making out before that was established.
Listen, when you turn
maybe some car, something happened in a car. Maybe that happened too. You know, maybe you making out in a car. You guys haven't said you go boyfriend. Maybe you were hanging out at the mall all day. Maybe you started kissing. Maybe y'all got a little frisky or something.
Maybe a hand slipped inside a shirt.
Maybe, or maybe I put it in there.
That girl who just grabs his hand and just touch my boob.
Maybe I put it in there, or maybe I put it somewhere else.
In pants, shirt, or wherever. Listen, when I get heated,
and there was no.
That's just the way it works.
There was no talk of that. There was
no talking. Period.
Of a horn dog as I can be.
Obviously, I'm going to do it with
not put my hands on nobody unless we mutually agreed that we're going to be putting our hands.
Hey, we didn't disagree that we weren't, because apparently, you know that thing called body language. So apparently, there was a talk. There was a talk between our bodies that this was about to occur. We knew.
Read none of the language.
Listen, you know what body language. You know what body language happens though, because look, somebody might initiate. Let's say someone tries to initiate a kiss that you don't want and you would never ever want. you're not gonna let him do it because my boss tried that, and there was no way I was attracted to him in the least bit. So there wasn't going to be any blah 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 going between us because that was never ever nothing ever going to happen. But he was thinking something completely different that I had no idea he was thinking in his head ever. So I'm doing paperwork in the office. He thinks that, oh, I'm going to try to kiss you. Like grab and lean. I'm like, whoa.
That is predatory shit, though.
It is, but I'm just saying that's the thing that happens. That's predatory. It's only there's only two different wins. There's that one. There's the one where their body language, we know we're about to do something because we both have agreed, even we haven't said it. And then there is the one that is spoken. So I already knew, like, no. What are you doing? He's like, oh, I'm sorry. I'm like, yeah, that's cool, but no. He's like, were you flattered? I'm like, not really.
See, there's
thanks,
verbal consent, and then there's implied consent. Those are the only situations that you should be putting your hands on.
And then, okay, I'll give you another example. Then there's the example of, okay, a guy like
you is a mess.
comes into your job. You like him already, but you guys are kind of friends. You're working. He tells you to take your hair down. You're working, you're standing where the wall is, you guys are chatting, and he looks at you, you know the look, and he says, take your hair down, because your hair is pinned up for work. So
I'm
you just
take my hair down and freaking fight you.
Take your hair down, and then the kiss initiates there. Very deep kiss against a wall. So that type of situation, body language, you knew, you agreed, because you also agreed in that. That's verbal. He's like, take your hair down. I'm like, nah.
Okay. Yes, sir.
There would be no disagreeing on that. If nobody was in this store, other things be coming down too. Let me stop. But that's what I'm saying. Those are two examples of body language. And my boy, he wasn't reading that right. So no.
Listen, you got real
kicked in the face. That was great happen.
You better be fluent in Aphrodite language.
My language is get over here and let me sit on you. Okay.
Grumpy always says, I'm happy to everyone I meet. Hair flip. You too much. Question 2, Michael said, I write what I call the explosion. It might be a slow burn internally for one or more characters, but in the scene, it's unexpected, something for all parties. Yes, we all love that one. Love that one. Let's see here. How did that flip down? Everybody talking. They running it. Okay. Grumpy Owl said, love it at second sight is my favorite. Love at second sight.
I like that too. I can't lie.
That's always a good one.
That's one of my favorites.
Said, me and Albie were attracted to each other because of just the conversation that we had before we ever met, anything like that. Yeah, that's why I said people can talk to each other and then they fall in love from just the chatting. But I mean, that's what I was talking about, like people who see each other first sometimes, but don't get it twisted. When you see somebody and you're attracted, when you are attracted, when you first see them, it's because you were attracted to something. There are, of course, of all other kinds of ways to fall in love with someone and be attracted to someone, because sometimes you can have seen someone, not been attracted to them, then you guys were around each other for quite some time, and then feelings develop that way as well. So I was very specifically only talking about that one way of attraction.
I just want to find a man where I have both. I want to talk to them and look at them and just start drooling.
Yeah, hey, nothing wrong with that. I like that. That's always good. Like you see me, like I can't be in a room with you because stuff won't happen.
I can't even listen to what you just said because damn.
Stephanie said, at the most basic level, we are energy, and energies mix in different ways. This is true. I agree. Ron said, my wife and I hated each other for a week. See, the hate turns into, you know what?
You must have had a lot of fun. What's that?
look at Alex. Here come a story. Here you go. Oh yeah, we're glad to see you back here, Grumpy Y'all. I've seen you in a minute.
I want to know about the game that you're working on.
Grumpy Y'all said, I thought my wife was a bitch, and she thought I was a prick. When we first met, laugh out loud, then we actually talked. look, for somebody's like, fucking Chase. Say it, Alex.
Wait, what happened? Why Chase getting dragged into this? What happened?
Something that you guys already said before. I'm about Chase. So, or actually, you might just want to hear Alex say that because we used to hear Alex say that.
Yeah.
We
That's
need to
gonna
see
be
it every show.
That's gonna
Every
be
stream, we need to hear that. I'm just saying. I'm trying to let you guys know.
neighbors. This could be a drinking game.
When Grumpy Al said engaged within 2 months. Bam. Love it.
Wow.
Love
And that's
it.
what I want. I want that intensity to the point where it's almost hate, but then it becomes love passion, and then it simmers. It's still a flame, but it simmers down to a long-term situation.
Yep, I like that.
Beautiful.
Next work in progress. Eminem. One character tries to convince the other they don't need a chaperone.
Eminem means just male. That's what she.
Oh, I know what it means. I just said Eminem because it's easier to say Eminem. I mean, who don't know that by now? If you don't, then go learn a little.
I like some M&Ms with some peanuts.
Well, we know you.
Mouth in your mouth, not in your hand.
How about male with M&Ms in the middle? I like M&Ms, so I can't have them right now.
I like men and
I like men and M&Ms. You're right. I agree. We on the same. We on the same page. Hey, yes. Melting chocolate running, stop.
Oh goodness, you have no idea. I have a bottle of chocolate syrup. I'm just waiting for the man.
Yeah, Stephanie sister.
Yeah, listen,
I'm crossing M&Ms. You are giving me ideas too.
Guys, I can literally write an entire ways to write sex and romance.
Oh, Persephone, we gotta talk, girl.
Yeah, exactly. Got to test. You got to drink the milk or test it out before you buy.
Yeah, you got to take a test drive. What's wrong with that? Not wrong taking a test drive. Just test it out. You know how you go in the markets and they got those little test stands and you can test out the product before you buy it.
They should have
nothing wrong with that.
Or just
nothing wrong with that. Why is everybody?
So now I'm gonna write a book. I'm gonna write an erotic short story. Y'all hear it here. And notice I said short, so it's already gonna be difficult. And it's gonna be called Tester.
Yes.
I'll read that all day.
I'll read it too.
I'm not sure when I'm going to be able to do it, but I'm going to do it. And
I will look forward to it when it's on its way.
Tester. It's happening.
I will probably like.
This is true, Grumpy Owl. Sometimes two people's passions outweigh their minds. This is true. I mean, if you're feeling something for someone, I say, life's too short, just go for it. You know what I mean?
Guys, when I'm feeling someone, my brain literally is just.
I always told guys, because there would be guys that would be hitting on me all the time, especially when I work in retail, because you get to see a lot of people, and they're like, "Oh," I said, "If I was interested in you, you would know it, because I let you know. If I want you, I'm going for you. That's just. I never had a problem with that, so it wasn't like, oh, this guy, I'm gonna wait for him. Even though I like guys, so I like the dominance, I like that, but I don't wait for them to initiate to tell me if they're interested. Because if I'm interested, I'm gonna be like, "What's up?"
See, let's do this. I think I posted somewhere. Oh yeah, you guys probably saw it where I was like, I have such a strong personality.
I'm strong personality. I feel you.
Like he needs to be a Greek god.
People intimidated by that a lot too. I mean, I used to. Guys would be intimidated by that. So of course, some guys who would be interested in you wouldn't initiate too a lot of times, because you find out years later they were interested because they were intimidated by who you were or whatever.
Don't get me started
with that. I know. Yeah. Or somebody who's an outside party tells you, that person was really into you, and you're sitting there like, no, because of course I had all guy friends because I was just, surrounded by guys, so all my friends were guys. But my brother was like, none of them wanted to be your friend. Just so we're clear.
I will be like,
I don't know about this. He was like, oh, I know. Yeah, he was right. I asked a lot of them now later. Like, yeah, I was just hoping you would be like, I was like,
oh my God, the leg slide. I am just putty. I really am.
I'm trying to catch up with the comments. Everyone,
the one that's already on the screen. Like, come on.
Oh yeah, I know.
I'm like, goodness.
Freakish leg between the thighs. Oh, this.
That's what I was saying.
You go from I'm
talking about that, Persephone. When I like the against the wall scenes. I like when they lift you up in the leg between the. Listen.
Yeah, and then your thighs become like freaking steel. You're holding on. You're just like,
listen. No. The exact scene is in that show. No, stop.
It's like, don't play with me.
Aphrodite Lee, I was talking to you right here. This one, I don't know if you saw it or not. So Aphrodite, especially traumatic situations and conversations that lead to comforting the other person. Mhm.
Yep.
That's called that
Yep.
trope's called comfort and hurt and comfort. I know
Yep.
all the trope names, so that's just what I do.
Yep.
You
Three
make a
chairs for
really
explosion.
good
Yes, I agree.
foundation connection.
See, I make the comfort.
We
and
just mammals, bunch of weird ass chemicals
so
floating
much.
around, making us want each other. Hey, I will.
There's a lot of
Goddamn pheromones.
Yeah, girl. Yeah.
Pheromones.
Yeah.
but, like I tend to have the hurt and comfort with friends, romantic partners. It's
Hey.
not as often
Okay.
until later on.
Yep. All right, so we'll go ahead and start the next sprint. It'll be another 15, and then we'll come back to the third question.
Like the way you think, Grumpy Owl. Sorry. Look what you said at the bottom. You have to at least that one.
Which one? Where? What?
The very last comment.
Grumpy Owl. Break the wall.
Yes, break the wall, the bed, the floor, just break everything.
That's right. Do it all. Against the wall, on the floor, on the ceiling, against a tree in the woods. Who knows?
Like, but I funny thing is, I'm writing a BDSM sex scene right now. That happens to be where I am in the book.
Ooh.
So that worked.
Bum bum bum.
Okay.
So you got to 15. We're gonna start the countdown. 3, 2, 1, and right. See you in 15. And we're back.
Oh.
That was fast. It didn't feel like 15 minutes.
I know, but it was.
I just got to the part where she goes into the club.
Uh-oh.
I'm still eating spaghetti, so.
I know, we here. I just wrote another page, so about 380 something words.
What are you working on?
Fine, erotica.
Yeah. See, this book is kind of difficult because I have one hypersexual character and one gray sexual character.
Mm-hmm.
I have one sensitivity reader who's ace on the ace spectrum, so I'm trying to. She's going to read it to make sure that I'm respectful of the ace.
Oh, okay, cool.
But it's kind of like trying to, because I want to show that ace and hypersexual can be together and have it sensual rather than sexual.
Yeah.
Right. Well,
Huh?
I mean, asexual. I mean, you said asexual, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, asexual. Asexual can. I mean, it can. As far as I've read, and of course, at one point, so I was possibly asexual. It's just that I think there are different. Types of asexual.
Yeah, because there's demisexual, there's gray sexual, there's aromantic, there's allo-romantic, which is us, like those of us that like sex and have it regularly.
Yeah.
Allo-romantic.
But even in asexual,
allosexual, that's what it is.
Asexuality still has varying degrees.
So I was
like, the term is actually ace. That's the overarching term.
Yeah, it is lettered with the
right.
That's the usual term we were so used to with the A, but yeah. So it can vary. So I guess you could do it either way you want.
Well, that's not like with Dar's ace, but
yeah,
if she had the deepest emotional connection that she could find with somebody, is the only way you can actually put your hands on her.
That means that she's demisexual.
So
she's demi. Yeah.
No, she's ace.
Well, no, demi is actually part of ace. Like, it's under the ace spectrum. Demi means that you cannot be sexually attracted to someone without emotional connection. That's what it means.
I knew
it's
about
under ace.
Right. Well, she's definitely ace. But I like the fact that nowadays, I should say, you're getting to see more of it without in stories, and people are really recognizing, like, wait a minute, there's a whole group of people left behind, and now you get to see it more, and it just makes me smile.
Yeah, and I'm actually part of an ace group because I wanted to learn all the different aspects and how it works, because there's so many of them that it's like a black hole of information.
Yep, very true.
So,
at least you're studying it enough to write about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I have to that's why I have a sensitivity reader to make sure that I'm not mucking it up, because at the end of the day, I'm not ace. I mean, I do.
I doubt seriously if I ever will sit and try to write a story about being any type of thing, even like hetero or whatever. I'm not going to ever write that story. But I'm always going to write stories that include everybody. I'm never going to be the person that's I'm going to tell this story about this ace character and what it's like to be ace, because I don't feel like I have that in me, and I don't have the authority to do it. And I'm not saying somebody couldn't do it.
Yep.
I'm saying I can do it.
Well, that's why I said I wonder if people will eventually try to say something to me, because, of course, in today's world, it's great that everyone is getting included, especially in writing and stories and stuff like that, and even better in shows and things. But I will say that unless it happens naturally for me to write a character, whatever their sexuality may be, then there's no way it's going to be like a focal. I'm not going to try to, because I'm heterosexual, so I'm not, I don't know any other way, so I can't understand it, because so if I don't feel that if I can relate to it in that way, then I don't want to write it wrong. You know what I mean? Where it's believable. I could try to talk to someone about it. I can get in groups and all that.
The thing is, even if you wrote what you thought was right, and you talked to 1,000 people,
right?
Then
one person
still gonna come in and go, I am this person, and I don't do that. And they're also going to be. It's also going to be true for them.
Yeah, of course it would be. So that's why, more than likely, as I'm expecting, as I'm writing, that if any romantic relationships in my books are probably going to be male, female, more than likely. I don't really know if that will stay the case, because if it naturally happens, that's cool. That's great. But if it's not, I'm not going to try to put people in my books that are different sex.
Well, see, the thing is, it's because my books are very romantic and I'm very inclusive. I have to focus on sexuality, so it's a very important aspect.
I mean, I have sexuality in some of my books is a focal point, because I write romance and stuff too, and it does have sex in it. But I'm just saying, like, I know in today's world where it's more accepted, which is great. I'm glad it is finally, because people need to mind their own business. I'm gonna get me started with that, but I just don't know, because people might get upset if every writer doesn't do it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, not every writer doesn't have to. Not every book for
but people, just like we have other sides of things, we have people on the side of if they're reading your stuff or going to read your stuff, or people try to come for you just because you don't do everything. You know what I mean? Like, my book doesn't have anyone that's specifically gay in it. It's not because no one was gay. It's just that because I didn't try to avoid it or anything. It just didn't happen.
It's not
you know what I mean?
The plot, it doesn't matter.
Right. It's not part of the plot, so it shouldn't matter, or it doesn't come up. Some of the characters, you don't even know what sexual attraction they are. So you can assume that they're not, just because no one who's being romantic in the book isn't, but you won't know. I wouldn't even know, because their character didn't come up as whatever their sexual attraction would be, So... But I know there are people that are going to come for you, because I've seen it happen to writers. Like, why didn't you ever put anyone gay in your book? Why didn't you ever put anyone trans?
When I wrote Shattered, and it was no, you may not. When I wrote Shattered, I made it my just job in general to make sure that it was inclusive.
Yeah, that's different when you're trying to.
But I was not going to sit and tell stories about sexuality, because I'm not going to tell a heterosexual story. I'm not going to tell a homosexual story. I'm not going to tell a this, that, and the third story. I'm going to tell stories about humans who also happen to be these certain things. I mean, like, I think it's pretty clear that like Baron is Pan. Okay, I think it's clear.
Yeah, that's very clear.
I think it's really clear.
Yeah, it's not a secret.
That Pan
we know.
That Baron ain't got no type.
The thing is with me is it's like,
I didn't want to tell a story that was like, oh, I'm gonna tell this pansexual character story. No, I told a story that included a pansexual character, if that makes sense. And that's where I think people get twisted. Like, like, you live on this planet with everybody.
Sure.
And a whole lot of everybody's, and we all in a giant pot of different kinds of whatever. Most people fall in a whole bunch of gray. I mean, most people do. But I'm not telling stories about where you fall. I'm telling a story about you.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it was just real important.
I mean, it's cool. But I thought your book was really well done with that. I mean, I didn't expect it or not expect it in your book, but I was pleasantly surprised.
I got a lot of good notes back from people.
Of course, because people want to see themselves in books. They do, so they can relate to that. But that's what I'm saying. I hope that it's not a issue, because it's not like, I know me as a writer, I let my characters develop the way they develop, first off. But of course, like I'm saying, unless I'm trying to do that, it might not happen. Like, it might not happen.
And that's fine. I think majority of it is people are taking it too far. The whole point of the inclusion thing is that I have a friend and she was open to the feedback, and she has a BDSM club that's in Detroit. The population of Detroit is Black. That is majority of it. In her BDSM club, everyone was white. So she had to be corrected on that because it wasn't realistic. So it's situations like that where if you're in a place where you know there's a lot of different kinds of people.
If you're using like real places and stuff, you do have to be aware of what's happening.
Alex, ain't no black people in Detroit.
Oh, not at all.
Nope. The whole planet is actually white. You didn't know that?
Yeah,
I need to inform you of that.
Is everybody white on the planet?
And that's where the whole inclusion problem is that I will say this straight up: the white community has a habit of defaulting to their own race. And that's where it's a problem.
People tend,
but in the white people's defense, they can write whatever they want to write.
But also in their defense, to be honest with you, a majority of people who are writing and creating things in general are going to create what they know.
Yeah.
I mean, let's not be funny because a lot of writers were white. You know, it's more people of color doing different things now. So yeah, but we know majority of the writers were white. So if a lot of the characters were white in the books, that would be fine because that's who they are. That's what they know. Now, when they try to step out of that box and write someone of another race, they wouldn't necessarily get them correct in some instances, which also would become possibly insulting to said race. So they have to be like, should I just go ahead and keep writing people of my race, or should I try to include people of other races, you know, but not represent them correctly because they don't know. Even if you like, oh, please don't watch TV and think you assume you know what a race is like, because that's the worst representation ever.
Yeah, and that's fine. Yeah, that's understandable. Right, what you know, obviously.
That's the thing. Like with people, they would try because it is a lot of pressure nowadays too to make sure you're being inclusive. Now, me being a woman of color, my characters are people of color in most cases because, of course, that's what I know. I'm quite mixed, however, so all my characters are mixed people. So that's
I write characters that are everything, and I don't try to worry about
you don't have to worry about
like I'm not worried about like, oh, if I'm gonna get the Nordic people correct and the Asian people correct. I don't tell stories about races. I just include my races in the story.
But some people do tell stories about races.
Right. That's different.
You know, you already know, like that guy from the production, he was like, this is how Asian women are. And he meant like, he didn't mean Asian women because his brain didn't work. He didn't realize that Asian is a broad spectrum. That does not mean Japanese, Chinese, Korean and stuff like that. He thought that's all Asian meant. Like, no, you must be including Indian women, anybody from the East.
No, you got what she talking
from
about.
Asia.
I had to do a couple months ago. I was auditioning for Shattered. I'm auditioning the cast members. I got the girls. I didn't get the boys. Just to put that out, we auditioning for the boys next month. But so there was a guy there who wanted to make a film. And he had written this script. Now, if you read this script, your first thought, at least my first thought as an intelligent woman, was that this is a parody. It has to be a parody because it was ridiculous. And so while we're doing the auditions, though, I noticed the way he was talking to people, I'm like, wait a minute, maybe this is not a joke. This is not a joke script. So I asked him when we dismissed some people, and I was like, dude, I'm just gonna call my name George. I'm like, George, why do you have Kimiko saying that particular line? I'm not even gonna say what the line was, y'all. Saying that particular line. And then he turned to me in all fucking seriousness and said, oh, this is how Asian girls speak. And so,
like, wow.
Now I'm Smurfette, okay? So it's me and a bunch of dudes in the room, and all the dudes that know me all hung their heads and just groaned. And I was like, wait, excuse me, stop. I said, I can't speak for every Asian person who ever lived. But as the only Asian person in the room, I just want to let you know right now, what you just said was very incorrect. And then he looked at me because obviously my black shines through more than anything. My Lee, not so much.
That's what you get from looking
And
at people and think you can
he looked at
assume.
me. He was like, "Oh no, Asian girls do." I said, okay, let me say it to you in a way maybe you'll understand. As an Asian woman, I've never said that. Therefore, you are automatically incorrect.
Since all, apparently, as far as he says, speak this way.
I'm like, so you seeing this girl, her name is Kimiko. So that's like a Japanese name, am I right? But the other girl name is like Mei Ling, and they sisters. Because he don't even know the difference. It's like, so you got some Malaysian Chinese mixed up with some Japanese. Oh no, because because Asian girls and they do this and then like blah blah blah. I said, okay, let me talk to you about this then. So you have this guy, this black guy, in your script, and let me get this straight. His daddy left his mama, got arrested, and went to jail for life. But before he left his mama and went to jail for life, he taught him how to be a weapons specialist at the age of 9. Yeah, because because black men, I was like, wow.
This guy had problems.
Wow. So I said, so my dad, the black man, that my dad is, never taught me shit about weapons when I was 9.
Not a weapon person.
And he didn't go to jail. And then I mean, if you guys, you
like,
have no
stop
idea.
saying all out your mouth, my boy. Like your story
and everybody looking there like Aphrodite. I'm like, no, because I thought this was a joke script.
Because the way it was written was terrible.
And now he's being insulting to the people who are coming in, who are auditioning, because he really 100% believed
what he said out his mouth.
And so I told him, I said, no, you have
I agree though.
Mission in the world to go right on ahead and finish that script, write it, cast it, and film it. But just know you gonna be real wrong and everybody coming for you. And I said, I cannot,
so people like this exist.
I cannot with him. And so, he got so mad. He was like, well, yeah, because the one guy, he's like a shop owner, and he's like, and his name is Chang, and I was like, oh, please go down a few more steps away from me.
Like, step over there.
Please go over there.
You get punched
towards me, and then my DP
get punched
towards me from the other side, because he know I'm getting ready to kirk out, and I'm trying to remind myself, let this boy be crazy about himself. But I did have to say something. You can't ever say all anybody does anything.
Like, please stop. Like, that's not how this goes.
And he fought me tooth and nail and told me I was wrong.
Yeah, like he was right. Like, please stop, my boy.
He was a man. He was explaining it all to me, and I was incorrect. And it took all the strength I had not to go, oh, so sorry, sir, and bow. It did. It took all my strength not to do it. It did. It really did. I was like, don't do this, because you're gonna make the whole situation worse.
That's too funny, bro.
My AD, he was like, well, why is she so upset because Asian girls do that? He was like, she's part Asian, asshole. Did
you not hear what she just said out her mouth?
Part you don't get it.
Let's completely throw out what you said, because obviously
it went over his head, because I was a woman speaking. And what I'm telling you, don't scratch the surface of the actual situation. Like, I wish I had it on film, because
they need to film this kind of thing.
So, like, I had brothers walking over to me and putting their arms on my shoulder, like, it's time for you to calm down a little bit. It was bad. It was not a good day.
Yeah, well, if I was there with you, let's say he probably wouldn't have made it out alive. But yeah, anyway, I would have to come for that person. Like, let me teach you something. You're about to learn something today.
Is that you can still go out there and do whatever the fuck you want, be insensitive and wrong and loud, crazy, dumb, stupid.
Just don't expect nobody not to say nothing. I'm just saying.
But I won't be reading it.
Yep. So I mean, that's why I'm saying, like, you just gotta be like, if you're going to include people, make sure you are doing it respectfully, and don't just, one thing I can't stand is if someone sits down to write a book and they're like, I want to make sure that I take this race of people and I'm gonna put them in this book so I can sell this book because people want to read this book because I don't like that.
Don't have no power that people gonna do that.
I know they're going to, but I don't have to like it. I said I don't like that way of it and try to act like that's including people because it's not, okay? Because what you're doing is taking that race of people and using them as your little selling product, like the ones your toy, the ones you're selling
like
product.
The whole pride thing, how government, how the corporations are using pride now.
Right, I don't like that type of thing because it's not you. You're not including anyone. You're not. That's not what's happening here.
A designer that I follow, a design teacher that I follow, and she made this. She said this one thing because you get people in the comments, like we're doing a chat now. She had a live chat. Who just don't get it. And first of all, like you don't immediately jump on people for not knowing. Yeah. When you tell them and they still acting dumb.
They still trying to act like this.
Guy came in there and she just lit him up. She was like, "Look," she said, "Look, white people," and that's how she said it. She's like, "The people are Asian, things are Oriental."
Thank you. Please don't use that word. That would piss me off.
Oriental means thing. It means a thing. It's not a person.
You cannot. Oh, wait. Aphrodite. Wait, don't you love it when the people use words like that and then you say that's not a person, that's an item, and you really shouldn't do that because that's not respectful to that race of people. And should that? Well, I know this Chinese person that's okay while being called Oriental.
Well, then call them Oriental.
They always pull that out. How many times have I said to somebody, "Stop calling us Indians, we are Native Americans," or call us the people or the first people or just natives. Do not call us Indians because that is a race of people in India. And they're like, "Well, I know some Native Americans, as you say, they like being called Indian or they don't mind it." I'm like, why would I care about that? They're part of the problem because that's not that race of people. Stop. It's disrespectful.
Call them that to their face. Like, go to your friends and call them that. Don't call me that.
Just because you know two people who okay with it, stop.
If you came to me, and I'm not Native American, I'm just using that as an example. If you came to me and I was okay with you calling me an Indian, you better know, understand, trust, and believe that everybody is not. So
of course, thank you.
Giant group.
Right, so don't say, because I hate when people say that. They bring it up like somehow that's their defense. Instead of them listening to what you just said and learning something, they're trying to defend what they just did. Because that means you need to defend it because you should know it's wrong because the person just told you it's wrong. So that means you should say, oh, okay, let me learn something. No, I'm going to tell you that I'm going to call you an Indian still, even though you just told me that that's not okay. But I'm going to do that because I have a right to do that. Like, oh, you really don't because you're not even that race.
People misgendering me. I tell them over and over again I'm a he, and then for the rest of the day they're still calling me she.
You're like, listen, I did tell you. I understand somebody slipping up. But
no, they weren't slipping up. They were blatantly calling me she. Like blatantly.
No, I understand somebody slipping up, but someone doing that's like, okay, my older brother, he had changed his name, and he told his friend, Erico, his friend, this is my name. I changed my name, and I'll use that name more. How you going to be a year in and still trying to call him the other name after he done told you that he changed his name? Like, you doing it specifically. Why are you saying his name so much, his old name? Like, you trying to do it. That's when someone's trying to be ornery and be like, well, I'm gonna call you this anyway.
I actually had to disconnect a friendship because she blatantly told me she would not call me Alec.
Okay, bye.
Like, we're done. Bye.
Then bye. I did the same thing, Alec. I did the same thing.
Like, bye then.
My first name is Hope. Not my second name. I know I have it reversed on Facebook, but it's reversed. My first name is Hope. I do not use Hope. And I made it clear to everybody who knows me not to refer to me by that name. I have my reason why I don't want to.
There are people that still call her Hope.
There's one person who I really am going to have a talk with her because she getting on my nerves with it. But they was
she's still doing it.
Who was in our friend circle, who didn't even meet me while I was using the name Hope. Someone told her that it was my first name. And then she decided to walk up to me one day and use it like she was trying to be slick, like, haha, I know something. I'm like, bitch, it's not a secret. It's a beautiful fucking name. But
that's the point. That's not what I told you to call me.
My mom's name, and I do not want to hear it. And so anyway, she was like, oh, well, I don't care. That's what I'm going to call you. And I was like, oh, you cannot care, but trust me, and you will not have correspondence. And I haven't spoken to her since. And she still mad. Like she's still going around telling people, like, can you tell her that I'm doing this and I'm doing that, and she won't invite me.
Don't care.
No, bitch, I'm not.
You don't have respect for me because I already told you.
Her husband wanted to come to one of my things. I was like, you can come. She can't.
You she's a disrespectful person.
I do not change my mind because she's purposely being disrespectful. It would have been one thing as a slip up, but she's purposely going out of her way to prove that she's not going to do something and respect my wishes. You can't respect my wishes. You can't be in my company.
Well, I mean, that's the same thing with me. Like, I use guys and dude a lot, and I have some trans, women friends who just can't deal with being called guys or dude because they've had people blatantly do it to them in a disrespectful way. Right. So what do? When I speak with them, I directly do not call them guy or dude.
Right.
I call everybody she.
Yeah, I love when people are like, girl.
But again, I have a drag queen inside of me who constantly call everybody girl. What girl? I did.
What did that girl just say, girl?
What that girl just say? I love that part. I love that. Girl, what that girl just say, girl?
But it don't have anything to do with gender. It's just
I mean, I say like, sweetie to a lot of people because it's like a Merlin thing a lot of time. And I also say dude a lot because I'm a metalhead. So I do dude a lot. I'm not talking about your sex like at all. But if somebody asks me like, could you not call me dude because of that? More than likely, if that person said that, we probably aren't friends anyway because they already know like how I am and how I talk or whatever. So
I call everyone dude.
More than like, I mean, I call everyone dude. I'm not talking about whether you're a male or female.
I call
or
my mother dude.
Absent-mindedly. My mom, dude, listen, dude. That's just like the '90s kids. Like we all.
Yeah, we're '90s kids.
We grew up saying like, dude, like that's not nothing. We don't mean anything. Like, oh, we're sexual. Because, some women I know, they get mad because they'll say like, oh, a guy called me sweetie or something that wasn't my name. And I'm like, well, females do it too. Like I do it all the time. Like whether it's a man or a woman, I say sweetie a lot of the time because that's just like something I picked up and I do. Merlin people do it a lot.
Someone said, don't call me that. I'm like, you got it.
You got it. That's cool. If they say that, that's cool. Of course, I might think in the back of my mind, like, listen, you might be a little bit not my type of person. Like, in the back of my head, I might be thinking that a little bit.
I remember, like, because I know I'm sensitive about certain things. Everybody knows.
Some people are.
It's fine. I'm sensitive about some things too.
Everybody is.
When I grew up in the old days, in the 60s and 70s, we had this thing. We used to call kids we called them hoppers.
Oh, and you guys in the comments, you can answer the question. I know somebody already did, and then we'll answer it.
We call them shorty. So that's my slang term. If I see kids doing something that I think is not age appropriate, I call them a hopper. If I see somebody that's just a little kid, I'm like, or a younger person, I refer to them as shorty. Here's the thing though. Now I was working at this entertainment company and there was this guy, gorgeous as he wanted to be, but he was actually self-conscious about his height. So when I would see him, because he was all of 19, I would see him, I would go, hey, shorty, we're going to do blah, 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 blah. He literally thought I was referring to him as being short. He did not know about the slang term too.
Oh, the slang term. Yeah, some people don't know.
And so I'm
not short.
When it got back to me, that Ron, his name was Ron, he was upset that I kept calling him shorty. I was like, he is a shorty. And they was like, yeah, no. I said, no. Because he didn't get that meant that he was young. He think they had to do with his height. I didn't even pay attention to his damn height. And so they were like, oh, I said, please tell him. And they told him, and he was like, oh, damn, that makes sense. Because I was calling everybody shorty. It just bothered him because
some of us have speech that some people will find offensive. And all we need to know that they tell us that it's offensive for them. Somebody did answer the question already. So you guys can go ahead and think about the price. The answer. Let's see. It says, let me see. Go back because I have my banner up here.
What? I missed the question.
Oh, there was one thing I wanted to say because we got sidetracked. It was, but yeah, I'm trying to. Mostly, the reason why I'm so focused on writing the ace characters because I'm trying to learn the way that people who are in the ace spectrum have relationships. I'm trying to understand through writing it.
Cool. They have I don't know if you're into comics and stuff, but if you read like Archie comics, Jughead is Ace.
Oh yeah, I saw the show. So
No,
yeah.
not the show. He ain't Ace on the show. They said they might move into it and actually clear it up, but that character
in the comic is. Yep, in the comic.
I've heard the comic, but I never actually read it.
It's more prevalent in the comics than it is on the show. Let's just put it that way.
Oh, and the question is, do you read or write romance? If so, what kind do you prefer and why?
That's a hard question to answer.
Jeannie said, read romance. I write relationship romance that deals more with interactions rather than the sex.
I'm not into romance stories. The only way you're going to get me into a romance is if something else, the book was concentrating on something else initially, or put romance as the subplot. Because I'm not into romance stories unless it's the subplot of the story. So I will read them as long as that's the case. And I prefer paranormal fantasy with the subplot of romance. And then as far as what I write everything from no romance at all to straight up hardcore erotica. So okay, I literally go from 0 to 10.
What about you, Alex?
Not my reading.
I read a lot of romance. Like I don't read male-female romance for the most part unless I'm beta reading for friends.
Yes.
Because I'm a gay man and I like penises. So
I'm a gay man, I like penises, and I cannot lie.
You know, it's a struggle writing this book because MC doesn't have a penis. But you know, I write romance, but it's not. Oh, bye. It's not. It's the main plot, but it's like cut in half, where half of it is the romance, half of it is the storyline. Neither one is more important than the other.
Then, because I didn't know that. So you only write and read male.
Yes, unless it's friends who are having me beta read.
I understood that part. I mean, as far as your taste goes, you only write male, and you only read male.
Yes, except for this book that I'm working on.
I write every goddamn thing.
I mean, I would say that I primarily write queer in general because I have one book that's going to have a trans woman. I have another book that's going to have 2 trans men. And then I have Haley, who's a pansexual cis woman. So it's mostly just queer, but majority of my characters are male.
Gotcha. I was just curious. I did not know that.
Well, now you know. New info out there. That's why we ask these questions.
We're all gay here in my book.
I read a lot.
Now, I will say, similar with Alec, I actually don't read any male or female unless I am beta reading for a friend or something like that, or another writer I know. So when Alec give me male, I'll read it.
See, I don't read anything that's specific anyway. Like if I discover when I'm in the book that this is male, female.
You gotta know when I pick my books, and you see how many books I have.
I've never done that.
Yeah, when I pick my books, obviously, I do read romance. Mm-hmm. I have an entire collection of romance, and I didn't get into romance until I met my adopted grandmother because she was into romance, and she started me into romance. So that's
I might break down and read one.
Yeah, I did read. I love romance, honestly, but I love romantic stories. I do. I really am into that. So me reading romance is like, I read paranormal, I read historical, I love
historical romance.
I know. I read all kinds of romance. Any kind of romance I will try. Okay. I will try, but I own a lot of different.
You need to read a book called Inox. It's based off the Spartans. You will love it. It's historical. It is tearjerker. It is male, but I think you will actually enjoy it. It's so good.
Cool. I mean, I don't mind male, but I just don't. I never was like buying male or anything like that.
You weren't going out of your way.
I wasn't going out of my way, obviously. I mean, because either way, it's still you're reading erotica and or romance for stimulation of some kind. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Right. I rather it's stimulation of the mind or of the body, because the erotica is obviously more stimulation of the body. You like to read the sexual parts of it. And then romance is maybe you like the romance build up. obviously I love men and I'm a female, so that's where my mindset would be. Obviously, it's like you like male, you write male, you read male. So it's the same concept for me. So obviously, I'm not gonna go out of my way to go purchase that otherwise. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I mean, back in the day, I've seen some because you know in Japanese anime it's yaoi and yuri. Yaoi and Yuri. So
Yaoi is awesome.
female is Yuri and yaoi is male.
Yeah.
So male and female. So I mean I've seen some horror, so but it's like it's not gonna be sexually stimulating for me at all. And it's also I'm not gonna be romantically interested. I think it's really cool, but I would like okay, if I read or watch a romance that is male, female, then I can get into the romance of the relationship, of course, duh. So, but if I'm going like it's gonna be sexy and stuff, I'm not gonna get anything from that.
Yeah,
So,
and like I have books on my Kindle that are, you know, male, female, or just not even romance at all.
Right.
It's not that I won't read them, it's just I seek out what I enjoy that I get a mental and emotional stimulation
that's the reason. So of course I'm going to I don't like when I read your book, that's male. I was like, cool with this. This is good. I'm like, listen, Alec. You know?
I am a kinkster all day, and that's not even the worst.
Listen, Alec, this is some good writing right here, my boy. But I was like telling that to Aphrodite. I'm like, Alec can write his butt off. Like, listen, y'all don't even know, okay? But yeah, so that's the case with me. So I do. Reason what kind do I prefer and why? I prefer paranormal romance, as they like to call it paranormal, but sometimes it's supernatural romance. So I do prefer that because I do like the supernatural mix with romance and stuff like that. So that is my preference if I had to pick one. I also prefer to write supernatural romance if that happens. So I prefer to do that as well because I really like the supernatural romance and mixture of the two. So yeah. Oh, and horror romance. That's kind of not seen a lot. So I do like horror romance as well, and I actually write that as well.
Listen, I think I have an angel kink because every time I come out with an idea, it involves angels.
I have a lot of angel series. I actually have a 3-part angel series book, but that's not really romance. It's actually just supernatural, and then it has a slight romance story as a background story. So, but then I do have another one that's an angel book. That's the female lead character, but it's more or less like a story where she's helping people and stuff. She's a guardian angel, but no one knows that she's like, you know, they think she's just human, but she's like, it's like mission based type of thing. So that's another
like that
one.
story I sent you. It's going to turn into a series, and that's still angels, but it just involves, you know, Hades and all that too.
Yeah, so it had to be a series. I was like, listen, Alec, don't be messing with me. It has to be more because I don't know. I want to know what happened to the other thing with the other thing. Like what Hercules, who you told me bringing people in here and you won't be ending it. Don't play with me. This can't be a true story. Nah.
My brain just goes off into like when I have supernatural ideas, it goes in every direction.
Hey, I totally get that though. Like I understand. So I get you. I don't know if we're gonna have time for another sprint either, guys, because I do have to run in a little bit. Wait for Aphrodite to come back, but I have to run in a little bit because it's like nighttime. You know, I do stuff. I'm a vampire.
I have to say, I do love some contemporary.
Yeah.
Though, like sometimes, like that one I told you about with the escort. That was just some good shit. Okay, it wasn't that long.
Oh yeah. Let me see if anybody else answered the question. Let's see.
So it's a romance between a prison.
I wrote a romance
and CO falling in love. So it was good stuff. It was good.
That's
and it didn't even have any sex in it. It just had like sex hints.
Oh,
but it was so good. It was emotionally stimulating.
Yeah, I like that too, though. If the characters intrigue me and or plot hooks me, I'll read it. It's all good. Cool.
But yeah,
I'm like that person that goes in a bookstore. I see the cover, it grabs my eye. Then what I do first, turn the book over. I'm gonna read your blurb, and if that blurb,
I know what I'm gonna do.
Probably not buying it.
I'm gonna be sending book 3 to freaking Dal and be like, tear my book apart, Dal. I want you to tear this shit apart. I'm also going to send her the 8th book because I have a person who's disabled in the 8th book because she will tear the shit apart with the disabled thing.
Oh yeah, that's true. You need somebody to check up on some stuff. Hey,
damn it.
So
just keeps going in and out. It's really annoying.
I know. Perhaps my reading preference is suspenseful or scary things, but a good story premise is paramount for me. Yeah, I agree. I love scary things. I love the scary and the creepy. As you know, in Mistress of Horror, how could I not? Actually, my video comes out on Saturday too, guys, which I will be talking about some of my aspects of writing short horror, and it also applies to writing short stories in general. How I do that, because I can write a short story probably in 500 words.
If I can get a moment where I'm not Dal, that I will, if you want, I can either have you beta read it, and you can just be a second sensitivity reader, and I'll definitely read yours. Because then I'll have two people on different ace. I get two different, opinions.
It's always good to. Wendy said, I forget what series it was that got me into male, but I remember thinking that as long as the relationship wasn't obviously forced, I could get into it. Yeah, but yeah, I wouldn't mind long as it's like, I like to see development of relationships in general. That's why I read romance. So
yeah, I love it too. Like, don't get me wrong.
Romance.
I'll do GMCs, but then the romance will still develop afterward.
Yeah, so I mean, that's why I like romance. So
I'm a big pervert.
We know Alex, why we love you. We love Alex #1 because he a pervert.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Or as my older brother likes to call it, you're a man of culture.
Yes.
Called the man of culture. That secretly means he's a little bit perverted, just a little bit.
I am thinking about writing a craft book on all the ways to write romance and sex scenes. I really am.
Aphrodite, we're about to wrap because I have to go.
I like MM stories, by the way. I meant to mention that.
Oh yeah. Well, Alex, I'm just gonna say
I got a lot of them.
If you haven't read any Alex,
I read Alex stuff. I was teasing Alex about James.
I'm just gonna say the Michael scene. I was like, listen, Michael, listen.
Oh,
Michael.
My son just came in. That's why I had to mute because I'll never know what he's gonna say out of his mouth.
Yes, it's true. I know, Jeremy.
Mason, I can handle. Jeremy, no.
Jeremy, you know Jeremy though. He's gonna start trying to start stuff. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead. We're going ahead and wrap, guys. Thank you for writing with us. We're gonna go ahead and do our closings, and we will be on Aphrodite's channel next Tuesday. She will be hosting. I have to cut short because we usually do 3 sprints, but I have to run because it ran longer because we have such good conversation here, and we always learn something about each other, also something that maybe can help us with our writing. Good conversation happens, and that also gets us new words happening. All right, so Alec, what would you like to do your closing?
Alec, I don't think I heard you.
Oh, probably not because it froze. Do you want to do your closing, Alec?
I'll do mine.
Yeah, I probably should just because my internet's coming in and out. But I am A.L. Williams. I am the author of Immortal Scars, available on Amazon. I have my second book coming out on the 14th of March. I am currently looking for beta readers for the book that I'm working on tonight. So if you're interested, hit me up. And I still have room in my ARC team if you want to join that as well.
Oh, yes.
I have probably around April-ish, I will be looking for beta readers for my Gemini Rising. So if anybody wants to be a part of that madness, I just want to warn you ahead of time. I have been channeling George R.R. Martin. So
watch out, y'all.
That's the closest I can tell you to prepare you.
Watch out.
For the madness that is
the links are below. I think I have Alex stuff down here too. And I will add Alex stuff here. I have to add Alex links to this, but I will definitely do that. But Alex YouTube channel's in here, and you can look up Alec and get Alex's book, and also get in contact with him about being a beta reader if you are interested.
You look me up on Facebook under Alec Lee Williams, you'll find me. So.
That's right. Look him up. I am Arthur DL Tillery, and this is my channel. You know, we do these streams every Tuesday, rather on my channel or Arthur Aphrodite Lee's channel. We have guests quite often with us that we don't even count them as guests anymore. They're just a part of the show. Alec Williams and DL Stewart. So you will see them on a regular, and we sometimes will have people pop in, hopefully, with us as well.
Yes, I would like to invite some people who have not
haven't joined us. You can hit us up anytime. We are always welcoming to everyone.
If you're here, you can join me next week. Persephone, my sister, next week on my channel. I'm just saying.
Yeah, Persephone need to jump in with us. We'd love to have you. And I do, my videos are back. I will have a video each Saturday as my Mistress of Horror, talking about horror, and rather that be horror in writing and film and games and also in writing. So I will teach you some tips on writing short horror stories, on writing horror and things. And also I do ratings on rather a book or a movie or a film is scary. So that's my new thing. As I like to talk about all things horror, because I don't think horror gets talked about enough, and we'll always be talking about it because it's very, very interesting.
Believe it or not, I do watch them, even though I'm a scaredy cat. There's only a couple channels that really delve. That's their thing.
Yeah,
it really. I think horror gets disrespected, man.
It does in everything, actually. I mean, I always watched horror films and always loved horror, and horror video games also get dissed as well. So actually, I'm going to be talking about those two. I have I own, or at least my older brother owns, all of the ones that's come out on the consoles from probably PlayStation 1 era to now. So we always have been into horror, and there's so many awesome horror games that need to be talked about. One of my videos is going to be coming up in a couple of weeks. It's going to be about a video game called Eternal Darkness. And that one is actually Cthulhian horror. Yeah, that one's Cthulhian horror, and that's one of the best representation of Cthulhian horror I've seen in video games. Like, and they're starting to do them more, but the reason why I'm going to be talking about also video games and film, because those things are actually, they have stories in those, and being a writer, us learning from other aspects and other avenues of how writing comes together in other places like film and games, it actually will help us grow as well, because they're writers too, different style of writers, but they have storyboard writers, they have, screenplay writers, and then those actually, some of those avenues borrow from us too. So we're novelists, but they use us to, make movies and also to make video games. So that being said, that's why I'm going to integrate and mix those together into my channel because of that. But horror is the thing. That's the topic.
Cool.
So I will see you guys then. So I'll see you on Saturday with my new video, and I will see you next Tuesday on Aphrodite's channel. So thank you again for riding with us, and we'll see you next time.
Can I just say one more thing?
Yes.
Who wants to go along with my Choose Your Own Adventure, be a part of that beta group, hit me up on Facebook, message me and let me know, because that's coming up too.
Oh yeah, and Aphrodite, so you're offering formatting now. You do formatting.
Yeah, just strictly formatting, because a couple people are hitting me up for editing and stuff. I'm not trying to do editing, not going to. I'm booked all the way up, and actually I'm booked up until April now, but I still have like 2 slots in April for anyone who is interested in getting their books formatted. Message me about that as well.
She's very, very, very good at formatting, so you guys check her out.
The group
very good prices too.
And since we're talking about that, I have a group called Alec Williams Cover Designs. So if you want to join that on Facebook, I do pre-mades, and I can also do custom covers and logos. Right. And if you don't like making teasers,
from Alec's covers are really good. Very unique
I also
style.
Do teasers, media kits or press kits also. Like just anything that's visually graphic for your advertising, I will do.
Yep. Alrighty, everyone. Just check us out. Links below. Look us up by our names, and we will see you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.